Hey, so I've had a lot of requests on how to make my tail as well as to commission them, which I'm not doing. I'm sorry. But essentially, I wouldn't suggest making it exactly like I did because I had to go to the chiropractor for quite a few sessions after wearing them. Like the hooks that I use on them broke 40 kilo hooks, and I have to use 70 kilo hooks if that puts it into perspective how much weight this puts on your back. But I'll show you how it attaches to me and to my best ability tell you how I made them like a year ago. So let's see how I go. So using my sexy ass drawing, we can kind of see how I attach it to myself. Essentially, I've got a belt around the base which attaches to a T-shaped pipe, which all the wiring for the tail go into the pipe and hook into that. And then I have three hooks, which are these. They're called leaders. Use them for fishing. So literally go to like a fishing shop and they'll have them there. And that attaches to another belt, which is around my waist, just below my bra line. So these are most things that I used for my tails. So you got 18 individual. My fur I got it online because, Australia's really, really, really bad for having fur that costs like $80 a meter. So I got this online. I'm pretty sure it cost me about $90 to get the amount that I needed, which I think was about 2.5 meters, I believe it was. And then you will need two belts, one to go around your hips and one to go around your upper waist slash ribs. I'm pretty sure I had 9 meters of wire for the tails because, well, each tail's 1 meter, so it makes a bit of sense. A T-pipe, which attaches to the base belt, which all the wire hooks into for the tails. You'll need the leader hooks, which are these things again, which attach to fishing wire to the tails so it can pull it up to the second belt around your ribs so the tails don't flop as much as you would want them to. Well, as much as you would expect them to. And yeah, that's why you would need fishing line. So essentially, to start off with, you want to drill your holes in your T-pipe, which will house the wiring and attach it to the bottom belt. So essentially from the top, you need 9 holes, one for each tail. The wire will feed through the top and it'll go through and it takes forever, but you got to feed it up through the hole and hook it back. You can't really feel it, but on the other side of this, there's a lot of bumpy wire. And then you'll also, like, this is the weirdest angle for it, but the belt attachment, you'll need two kind of on this side because you want it to face slightly upwards so that you don't have it like straight out, so it kind of pokes up a bit. It's right here, but I kind of drew it like this. That you'll need 2 holes to attach it to the belt, which you can see here. And also because you've then got screws in it, you need this double-sided, like, it's like a foam with a sticky adhesive on the back of it because you can see it, there's bolts there. So you'll need to cover that up so it doesn't scratch the shit out of your back. Next thing to do is you'll need to make 9 of these, which is doubled over wire. I don't know what type of wire I use, but I'm pretty sure it's quite thick. So you just want to cut 2 meters of it, and I said 9 meters of wire before, it's actually 18 meters. So you want to make a 2 meter thing, you fold it up and back down, and then these represent tape, by the way, and then you tape it up just so it actually stays in a little clump. And then what you want to do, get this end, the non-looped over end, and you want to put it through here. And this is my attempt at showing that you then hook it back on itself. You just use pliers, feed it through the hole, and then hook it back on itself. And then once you've got all 9 of those in, you then want to fill the T-pipe with expanding foam. This is just to give it a bit of stability. I know expanding foam's not the most stable thing, but it's just good to stop the tails bouncing around because they've got a lot of weight on them. So the next part, and the bit that's going to turn your lungs a bit fluffy, is that you need to cut out 18 of these. I made them 1 meter long, and I don't know how wide I made them, but it'll all depend on how fluffy you want them to be. but you want to make sure you're cutting the right way in the grain. So I made it so that the fur on my tails is going towards the tip. And you want to make 18 of these to make 9 of these, and you'll stitch around the outside, but leave the bottom open. And then what you want to do, you want to get cotton wadding and stuff all in here, not too densely. And then you want to feed the wire, which is attached to the T-pipe, up the center. And then what you got to do is seal it shut with some hot glue or something like that. And then you cover using the spare stuff that you got because you're cutting little shapes like that, so you can have a lot of scrap. And that's where you're going to wrap around this T-pipe area. That's just all little disjointed bits, and you put it over the top of the tails so that, yeah, you can barely see that there's a disconnection there. So yeah, that's essentially how I made my tails, and knowing me, I have forgotten something. So if you have any questions, feel free to comment or message me and I'll be happy to help you. Thanks, guys.